we do on a problem like this? If I ask you to simplify this, what are we going to do?
Distribute.
Yeah, we distribute, right? FOIL, distribute, okay? And we're right now working on factoring. So when we're factoring, remember we're undistributing, we're going backwards, right? Okay. So if I'm looking here at the first example here, we're going to be working in 8-7, which is difference of squares, okay? So when we talked about it, and like I said, I know it's been a little bit, but when we talked about it, difference of squares, remember it was the exact same thing, but one had a minus and one had a plus. All right, difference of squares. So now, she said, or he said, FOIL, distribute. You guys were all kind of saying the same thing there. So if I take x times x, what do we get there?
X squared.
X squared. X times 4.
4x.
Good. Negative 4 times x.
Negative 4x.
Very good. And then negative 4 times 4.
Negative 16.
Thank you, Anthony. All right, so if we look there, what happens in the middle? That cancels out, okay? And we talked about in the last chapter that that will always happen, right? If they're exactly the same up here, but one's a minus, one's a plus, that means the middle's going to cancel. All right? And so your final answer is x squared minus 16. Okay? So now what I'm going to teach you is I'm going to give you the x squared minus 16, and we're going to figure out how do you get back to here. Okay? Now, difference of squares. Think what that means. Difference. Subtraction, right? Subtraction. Squares. Okay? Squares is talking about square rooting. Can you square root 16? What do you get?
4.
4s. Okay? Now, we haven't talked much about this, but if I square root an x squared, basically you're just breaking it up into 2 equal parts. So 2 x's, I'm going to put 1 here and 1 here. X squared. X times x is x squared. If we go backwards, it's just an x. Okay? All right, so now looking at this first example, what do you guys think your answer here is going to be? Say that again? X minus 5?
5x. X squared.
No. Let her finish. X minus 5, and then what was the other one? X plus 5. Very good. Okay, so the first thing we're looking for, though, before we do anything, is does it have a minus? Because if it doesn't have a minus in the middle, we got a problem. So that's the first thing we need to look for, okay? The other 2 things we need to look for here is can I square root x squared, or can I break it evenly? Yes. And then can I square root the 25? Yes. Okay? Once you have checked to make sure that you can do all of that, then you can come up with your answer, okay? So I'm going to go and put 2 sets of parentheses. I know since the x in the middle is missing, right? So if we go back up here and look, the x's in the middle canceled out, okay? So there's no x's right now in the middle. Since I know that those canceled out, I know that I've got a positive and a negative. So positive, negative, doesn't matter which one's which. Okay, and then the square root of x squared, what will that break into? And Maija tells us it was x and x when she gave us the answer. And then 25, the square root of 25 is 5. So she did it right. Okay. All right, so let's go to the next one. Okay, do not change the order around. I don't care if there's a number, the letter's out front or back, it doesn't matter. Okay, what do we think the answer to this guy is going to be? What do we think? First off, do we have a minus in the middle?
Yeah.
Yes. Do we know the square root of 100?
Yeah.
Yeah, what is it? 10. Can we break down h squared? Yeah. Okay, so if we can square root, and we have a minus in the middle. So I hear 10s. What should go in the middle? What
Plus,
signs?
Plus and minus.
Plus, minus. And what's h squared break into? Just h and h. Okay, break it down in half. Yep.
Would it matter if the h was first? Like.
No. Yes, it does matter. Whatever order they have this in, keep it in down here. Because what you're going to do is if you flip-flop the h and the 10, then you're going to say the 10 is negative instead of the h. Okay? All right, does anybody else have a question there? No? All right, take a second. I want you to try number 3 on your own. Let's see what you come up with. Try number 3 on your own. Alright, Kayla, tell me what your answer you got there.
4h minus 3, parentheses, 4h plus 3.
Nice job. Great job. So if we square root, right? Can we square root? Yeah. 16 goes to 4 and 4. H squared breaks to h and h. Do I have a minus in the middle? Yes, I do. Got to check that. Okay. And then I square root here. The square root of 9 is 3 and 3. And that's your answer. All right. Okay. Go ahead and try 4 on your own now. Go ahead and try 4. All right, Jillian G, tell me what you got for your answer here.
I got 11a minus 2b and 11a plus 2b.
Nice job. Okay, so again, do I have a minus in the middle? Check there. Square root of 121. If you didn't know square root of 121, you do have calculators. You can use that. Okay, but square root of 121 is 11. A squared breaks to A and A. All right, and then you square root the second part. Square root of 4 is 2. And then the B squared breaks to B and B. Okay? All right, any questions so far on all that? Nope. All right, so now let's go down and look at number 5. Number 5. What do we think here on this one? Okay, good. She's saying pull GCF because can I square root 27 and get a whole number? No. All right? So one of the first things that we kept talking about earlier before spring break was pull a GCF. The very first step is always to look for GCF. So in this case, she said 3, but is there something else I should also maybe be pulling out? A G as well, all right? So let's go ahead and pull out our 3G. So we're pulling out the GCF, okay? And when we do that, we end up with 9G squared, 2G's left over, and then 3 divided by 3 is 1, so minus 1. Okay? So now I'm checking the inside here and seeing, okay, does it meet my rules? So if I look here, can I square root 9 and G squared? Yeah? Okay, can I square root 1? Oh, why are we saying no? What's the square root of 1? 1, right? 1 times 1 is just 1? That works. And do I have the minus in the middle? Okay, so I can go ahead and break this down, and I need to do that. So go ahead and keep that 3G out front there. He's just dropping straight down. Okay? And then let's break down. Okay, so 3G squared, what's that? Oh, sorry, 9G squared, what's that going to square root into? 3, just G, right? The G squareds are going to break up. You've got a plus minus in the middle, and the square root of 1 is? 1. So you put 1s there. Okay? And that's going to be your final answer. Okay, so step 1 is actually always to pull that GCF and then look to see if we can square root. Okay? All right, so number 6. Okay? Now, sometimes this is not going to happen often, but every once in a while it'll happen to you where they actually put the negative out front instead of in the middle. All right? Don't let it confuse you. Go ahead and rewrite it and just put 9y minus 4y to the third. And now you can kind of crank on this. Okay? So when they put that negative out front, just go ahead and rewrite it. That way it doesn't look confusing to you. Now, can I square root 9y? Oh, no. 9 is good, right? We get 3, but can you take y and break that up evenly? If there's just one of them? They would go to like half and half. That's not going to work so well. All right? So that's a problem, okay? Basically, as you need an even exponent. It's got to break evenly, okay? If there was maybe a 4 here, that would work because we could say 2 and 2. If there was an 8 there, that's okay because we can say 4 and 4. All right? Does that make sense? But if there's a 1 there, that's a problem. So what ideas do you have here? What's our first step? Is there a GCF here? Toby, you're shaking your head yes. What's your GCF?
Oh, what?
They're telling you. They're telling you. is y, right? Do they have a y in common?
Yeah.
Alright, so pull out your y first, and then you have 9 minus 4, and then y squared. You pulled out one of the y's. Okay, now can I square root 9? Yep. Do I have a minus? Yep. Can I square root 4? Yep. And the y squared? Yes. Okay, so if it's not an even exponent, you got a problem. That usually means there's a GCF. Okay, so now, who thinks they can tell me what my final answer here is going to look like? Oh, you guys are so quiet this morning. Okay, we got.
Y, and then I have parentheses 3 minus 2y, and then 3 plus 2y.
Very good. Okay, so again, just keep in mind, we're just square rooting and square rooting. And we've got to have the minus in the middle to do all that. Okay? All right, and the